Thank you so much. So I want to remind everyone that there is going to be a chance to sign up to hear updates about this plan at the back table, which is also next to the place where you can sign up for the Stream Stewards program. I'd like to invite Candy back to the stage for our second Q&A of the night before closing remarks.
Okay, once again, I have a question. Marlene, is that documentation, are the people who get their tanks pumped going to then have to submit some kind of a
Absolutely.
card that's going to be on file,
They
et
have to
cetera?
submit, whatever they do, they have to, and it has to be by a qualified person. They have to
Oh, they need
submit
it, pump out.
the pump out, they have to submit that to the town every 3 to 5 years. The whole law is online. I actually was able to print it out. It was right there.
Great, thanks. Okay, questions?
Who is CWC?
Catskill Watershed Corporation.
Okay, we submit our forms to them, but.
Well,
No, Woodstock is going to handle that, right?
If you live in the watershed, if you live in the New York City watershed, you can contact them. They'll give you a list of people that participate, and then you can absolutely send all your information to them. They'll tell you exactly what you send to them.
Okay,
They're great.
thank you.
So that's on the rehab for your septic system, but on the water side, it's the town of Woodstock who's going to be receiving those cards.
Correct.
Great.
Do we have a map on the town website that shows who's in the DEP area and who isn't?
Well, there's the line. Cooper Lake is basically the line. But no, not yet.
Talk to me
I could
about it.
easily do that. I have the maps, so I could actually give you one, Judith, we could work on it.
I don't need one, I can make one.
Okay, I actually have one from DEP that I could put up.
Okay. So that's really good idea.
Yeah, really good idea, yeah.
This is for Julie and Marlene. So you mentioned that the source water for Bearsville Flats is the upper section of the Sawkill going up to Shady. And I know that the aquifer that supplies about at least 80% of Pump House 1, which is the only one that's actually in use right now, so essentially all the water, is coming from the aquifer that starts up there. But on your first slide, it looked like the line only went up just a little above the intersection of Bearsville. Shouldn't there be source protection for the water coming down the Sawkill and from
No, I think we should, we'll show you that, it's back on the table back there, that map. The source area goes way up.
It didn't go up, it was way below
This was a
Shady.
truncated view, this was not.
Oh, okay, so that was a different slide, okay.
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
was just,
wondering.
there you can see it's cut off, you're not seeing the whole thing. You
Yeah,
see-
because
see
it
the
should
dark blue?
actually,
The dark blue is where, that's the whole source area, that's the whole watershed area right here. It goes way up and it goes around. This
okay.
is called the critical area, it's just a little subset.
So that's the wellhead protection area, the smaller area.
It's called, they call it the critical area as opposed to the source water area.
And right there, back there, if you want to take a look, there are wellhead protection area maps that Judith worked on, I worked
Yeah, I'm
on.
familiar with those, it's just
Right.
the upper supply area that I was concerned about.
Right.
So is it, or can you say if EWSB2 is actually recommending that there be either some zoning or signage or other protections for these source waters?
We're gonna do education, we're trying to actually, through the DOH, and it's very beginning, but there might be some funding that we might be able to get some well testing done, and paid for individuals in that area. All around Cooper Lake, keep going up, so that way we have a baseline, so we can see if there's any PFAS or PFOS, PFOA, up further from Tenchurch Road or whatever, and is it coming from there, or is it coming from somewhere else? There's also something we didn't talk about in this, there's a lot of people that have private businesses in this area. They have galleries, they turn their garages into shops. And we have to start talking to them about what they're doing, because there's no regulations on that. People don't know what they're doing in their backyards. wetlands.
Well, and of course, it's a very steep area, so,
Correct.
runoff from septic, and otherwise, it's gotta go directly into the Sawkill.
Something we didn't talk about too is that for the first 3 to 6 months, once we get approval from the state, we'll have access to a grant consultant who will be, that person's job is to help us track down the very kinds of grants that we specify, that we say, these are the important things. That's why we want all of you, if you have definite ideas about what grant money should be used for, email to the DWSP2@woodstockny.gov, and, you know, we want your input. So, and we're gonna try to get out and talk about the program. Of course, we're in soft mode right now because we,
You don't have the final approval. They've
So we
allowed
have
us to
to-
talk a little, but not give the details. Yeah. It's a little crazy.
I'm glad you could do this, though. It's, I know a lot of people in town are anxious to know more.
Can everybody hear them, or you want them to speak into the mic? Are you okay with them? It's okay. Okay, good.
I read the book, and I was, in a way, I was stunned by the book because I thought I'd been outdoors my whole life. I never thought of drinkable rivers as a goal or even something to think about. So I was quite taken with that. And I thought, of course, people have been drinking rivers for time immemorial. I think the reason I never thought about it is when I go hiking, you know, first rule is boil, iodine, you know, buy your filter, pump your water. I mean, this is the prettiest place you can be, and yet the water is dangerous because of giardia or whatever. I'm puzzled. You know, how is that true? And then at the same time, rivers could become drinkable. Why is the giardia or whatever not a danger up in the most pristine spot, and then the river is clean? I'm kind of,
well, people would ask their dogs not to, you know, get into the rivers. I think that's what causes giardia, right? Beavers.
And not everything can be boiled out of the water, you know, I mean, there are things, you know, PFOA and.
But yet the goal, so I appreciate it, but the goal is, and apparently the notion would be, you could walk out here with your cup and stick it in the
Right.
Sawkill and drink from it.
Well, I don't,
I'm not sure that's.
okay, so I participated in Miranda's book club about this. And I read the book, I love the book, it's one of my favorite books, but I could not deal with that title. I mean, I struggled with that title the whole way through the book. I was like, this is impossible. But where I had my turning point with it, and I just recommend that somehow, where can people get the video of her speaking? The author has a video where she speaks to this point. And she had me. She got me. She was like, I was like, okay. It's really a call to make the rivers as clean as we can. It's not to make them drinkable. I hate that title.
And as Beth knows very well, I think that having those discussions and disagreements is really what makes a book club juicy. So join us at Conversations in Conservation. I believe it's drinkablерivers.org, where you can watch the video that's called Drinkable Meuse, which is a river in the Netherlands, and she talks about it there. But yeah, my understanding is that it's a wish and an ideal, and in the same way that we want to imagine a perfect world, even if, you know, it seems so impossible right now, that goal, that template, that ideal can help us to advance steps forward. And I really like the way Julia then starts talking about it in terms of, you know, doable steps and things that we can actually impact immediately or fairly quickly in our community. So I don't know if that helps, but I think like having this dual idea of like what could be possible versus what we actually need to do today, and, you know, the contradiction between the two is part of our modern world. But for me as well, the sort of primordial aspect of it was also maybe even the most important part. Like, for almost all of human history, the relationship between river and person was so clear. We drank from the river. And just to even realize that we're so far from that now is in some ways what's powerful for me personally about that concept. Yeah. Is that it? Should we wrap it? Okay, well, we're a little bit over time, so I encourage you to have conversations afterwards. We have many of the speakers still in the audience. Again, please sign up for updates about DWSP2. Please sign up to hear more about the stream stewards as it emerges.